Hello and welcome to Disney Makes Coloring. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I'm so excited to be here with you today. So today is going to be part 9 of our Adult Coloring for Beginners series. And we're kind of going to go a little bit backwards. I had a friend say that she would love to know how you get started. So I've showed you the different coloring books that you can get depending on your preference, the different mediums you can use, accents, things for backgrounds. I showed you how to color with colored pencils, but I need to do a little bit more in that. So we are going to go backwards on how you choose a book, and when you choose which book to color in, how do you choose the page? And then after that, how do you choose the colors? There are so many books out there. It is overwhelming. It really is. First of all, what I recommend is you get on some YouTube channels and look up some flip throughs of different books. There are all sorts of flip throughs out there. Now, I don't have very many, and that is just because I seem to be late to get my books, and there's already 10 flip throughs on here. So most of you will probably have already seen one. I do, though, do flip throughs of all of the Disney books when I get them. For example, I do have a Amazon France order coming with some Disney books, one of them including the Smurfs one, which I actually already have, but I'm waiting for the rest of the books. But anyway, so I thought what I would do is show you how I started when I first started adult coloring. The books that I had to begin with, how I picked a page. Now, I know I say this every time, but I am not a professional. These are just some suggestions. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm hoping that this will help some of you. I'm gonna cough, give me a second. I stopped it by taking a drink. All right, so here are some books that are some of my very first coloring books. These two I happen to already have. I've had this one since it came out, which was when? Is it in the back? Or does it tell me? Somewhere. Let's see. No, it's not going to tell me. So on the very back. There's got to be like a copyright date in here somewhere. Am I missing it? We have this, oh, right here. 2015. So I have had this book since 2015. This one I got in 2018. Now, I have been coloring my entire life, and so when these adult coloring books started coming out, it was so exciting. So I do have had some. I had these. I had some Harry Potter ones. I had 1 or 2 Disney ones, but they weren't the ones that I have now. I had some Bible verse ones, some mandala-y, pattern-y type ones, which are not my favorite, but anyway. So I had these to begin with, and I brought these with us. Okay, backstory. I started this in this adult coloring community in the fall of 2021. I was taking care of my mother, who passed away in November of 2021. She had leukemia, and where she was being treated was about 2 hours south of where I live currently. And she had a bone marrow transplant, and then she had to, for 100 days, live within 5 miles of the hospital. If you haven't heard of City of Hope, That is where she was being treated. It's a hospital specifically for cancer. They are amazing. I highly recommend it. If you know anyone that has cancer, if you have a City of Hope in your area, I would seriously look into it. They were amazing, amazing. My mom just happened to be one of those rare cases that the leukemia was just too aggressive. I mean, until her last day of life, they were so positive she was going to beat it. But unfortunately, she didn't. Anyway, so we had to have stuff to do. So we were living in, they put us up in a hotel. Now, they were building an apartment building on their campus, but it was not finished yet. And then they did have a few little like bungalow type houses on the site, but they were all full. And they also had contracts with an apartment complex further down the road. They were all full. So their next one was they had contracts with a home to suites hotel. And that is unfortunately what we were living in, a hotel room. Yes, and I lived in this hotel room for 109 days, by the way. Anyway, so we had brought coloring with us. We brought jigsaw puzzles with us. And we brought our super tips and our Crayola colored pencils, and then some gel pens that we had. And one day I was looking at YouTube. I like to watch planner videos. Well, an adult coloring video popped up on YouTube, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's watch this. So my mom and I watched it. I could not believe it. I had no clue that this even existed. And then it kept recommending more and more and more and more. So we kept watching, and you know, next thing I know, I'm on Amazon purchasing coloring books and different kinds of colored pencils, and because I'm one of those that, you know, has to have everything, but you don't have to be that way. And I explained all of that in previous videos, which you will find in this playlist. I have a whole playlist of all the videos that I have made in this series so far. So the first book I actually ordered was this Cute and Spooky by Jade Summer. I bought that one. I got the Second Tale by Eerie. I got two of these, one for me and one for my mother. I got, I don't have it. I got my mom a Bible verse one. And then I ended up getting the First Tale. I got 50 Autumn Miniatures by Camellia Angel Kova. And Autumn Charms by Teresa Goodridge. Now, I got other books while I was living in this hotel, but these were the first few that I got. So when I first started, I thought, okay, I'm just like all of you. How do I pick a page? I mean, where do I start? Well, this is how I picked a page before I found this community. I started from the beginning of the book. And then I just kept going from front to back. This is all with gel pens, by the way. Until I started ordering these other coloring books, and then I was like, pfft. So I had colored in that one again. This one is, I did that. Like I said, I felt like I had to color from beginning to the end. So yes, that is what I did. So I was watching these channels, and this was the first book I got, and I was like, oh my gosh, this book has so many, you know, fun, cute pages in it. But again, how do you pick a page? How do you start? I did the same thing. I started with page 1, and then I just kept going because I didn't know. So as you can see, that is how I started. I did the same with this one. And this one I actually got while my mom went back into the hospital. And I was gonna aim to have this completely done by the time she was released. But as you know, that never happened. This was the last page that I was working on when she died. I have more done in here since, but that is because it's been now over 2 years. But yeah. And then not this one, but this one I did the same. I started from the beginning. I guess I need to scoot this over. Because, you know, I guess I thought that's how you had to start. And as you can see by watching the videos, I was learning how to shade. You can see the difference here. Yeah, I improve and I keep improving. This one is one of my absolute favorites I've ever colored. I look at it now though, I know I could even do better now, but yeah, I just felt like I had to color from front to back, and that's as far as I got. Now I have other pages done since then, but like I said, it's been a few years. Now this one, I did the map, and I started this one, but I wasn't happy with the water. And then I started going again front to back. And then I got this one. Now I did start that way. Well, I didn't color this one, but I got this one, which is the first one I colored. It's with pencil. Now I did not have markers, so this is after that, because I didn't get markers for at least a year. But then I decided, you know, I found different ways to choose pages. So there was that one. It's the colored pencils one. There's that one. Let's see if we can find another one. This one. So I was getting better at choosing pages, not going from front to back. Now, I have 2 different ways that would help you to pick a book and a page. The first way is to get involved in the coloring community on Instagram. I have an Instagram account. It's the same as my YouTube name, Disney Makes Coloring, and I do 3 hashtags every month, and I actually have a 4th one because it's my birthday month for this month. And one of those is to choose any mandala, and I pick a Disney character and use that for your color palette. Now that will help you choose your colors. Another one is my ABC challenge, which is anything, and I mean anything that starts with a letter. So the letter is for June is C. So I would grab one of my books and flip through it until I found something in it that starts with a C. So campfire. So that would work. A candle. Let's see, what else do we have? A cat, some cats. There's a campsite, campfire. Careful what alcohol markers you use, some of them yellow. Another candle. Another cat. So yeah, so you would go through your books and you would find something that starts with the letter. Then there's also another one is when I co-host with Amanda from Amanda Colors, which is Frogs and Friends Color Along. And that is a full book color along, like a big buddy color, which I'll get to that in a minute. And we are going through the book Frogs and Friends 2 by Chris Reiniak. We have already completed Frogs and Friends 1. We pick a page every month. And if you have that book, we just ask that you color with us. So that automatically chooses a page for you. And then when you post it on your coloring Instagram, we just ask that you use the hashtag and that you tag us so that we can see it and comment on it and all of those kinds of things. So those are hashtags. Now, Amanda Colors, she has others. She actually has quite a few of those full book color along. She has one in Sea of Colors. She has one in Doggy Doodles, and those are both by Angela Gonzalez. She has a brand new one that she's just starting by Morgan O'Brien. It is the Annie Day one. There is Christina from Christina's Art Corner. She has 3. She does one, Tropigoth by Carla Magana. She has Spooky by Sarah Sheswick. And she is doing a Coloring Heaven. It is a pocket size, and it is the Magic Jars. And she picks pages out of those books each month that you can color. Speaking of Magic Jars, Amanda and I actually have a Facebook group. So you can also find these fun things on Facebook. Our Facebook is called Color With Us. If you're not a part of it, we'd love to have you join us. And one of the things we do is a full book color along, and we are doing the Magic Jars coloring book, but we are doing the one by Coloring Book Cafe, and we choose a page out of there each month. And then we also do things on there like scavenger hunts. We have weekly scavenger hunts. We choose a Disney prompt and a general prompt every week. Now, so those will give you things to look for in the pages. For example, I'm giving you a hint, one of the general prompts, because I don't have any Disney books here, one of the general prompts is clouds that's coming up this month. So what I would do is go through my coloring books and find a page that has clouds. So let me see if I can find one. Clouds, clouds, clouds. Where? Oh, see? Clouds. So here's some clouds. So there you've got some books with clouds. Or I know there's one in the back of one of these. It's not this one. Must be this one. Where you have clouds. Now this is a busy page. Now this is a double page spread. This would, for being your very first page, that's a lot. But if you want to do it, you go for it. Go right ahead. It does not matter. It is your coloring. It is for you. It's not to impress anybody. It's just something fun. It's therapeutic. It's a way to relieve stress. But yes, so that is one of the ways that helped me pick pages and books to color in, is hashtags, getting involved in the Instagram coloring community and Facebook groups, which have the same kind of thing. They have hashtags, they have scavenger hunts. There's people out there, and then the full book color alongs, which you'll find on YouTube and Instagram. So I told you about Amanda's and Christina's. There is Jess from Coloring Bumblebee. She does one out of Mini Mania Volume 1. And Jamie from Jamie's Coloring Love, she does one out of the Fox family each month. There are, there is somebody, I believe her name is Ashley. Don't quote me on, I think it's Ashley, and she's doing one, she does one out of Gnome Sweet Gnome. Johanna from JoJo Zohanna, she did one out of this book, which was also one of my first coloring books, is The Way Home by Morgan O'Brien. And she picked a page out of this book. She has no longer been picking pages, but we only have like 2 or 3 pages left to go, and then the book is complete. But yeah, so those are one way. The second way that I think is a good way to pick a page and a book is buddy colors. Now, if you don't know what a buddy color is, a buddy color is when you find a coloring friend and you either choose a book and a page out of the book and color the same page, or you can choose an object. For example, I have a friend and I doing a buddy color this month, and we are going to color a Madam Mim page. We did not pick the same Madam Mim page, so any Madam Mim page. Or you could say, let's color a page with a rainbow, and you both find a page with a rainbow. Yeah, there's all different ways you can do buddy colors. So how you do it is you find a friend. And I know sometimes it's hard to get the courage to ask people to buddy color. But let me just tell you that you're hardly ever going to get a no. And if you do get a no, it's not because they don't want to buddy color with you. It is because they have a limited amount of buddy colors they do, and they've already exceeded that limit. Now, I have trouble saying no. And as most of you know, if you are returnees, I do at least 30 buddy colors every month, at least. And that is a lot. I don't know really anybody else that does buddy colors like I do. And now I don't want this to make you not ask me, because please ask me, you never know. But I enjoy it. It helps me color in my books. I wouldn't have colored in half of my books, and if I hadn't done these buddy colors. So let me tell you how the buddy color works. So you find a friend, and you guys choose a book. A lot of times what we do is we choose a book, and then we either take turns picking a page, or say it's my turn. I usually will send 3 pages to the person and let them choose one of the pages to color out of the 3. Now, they're not already colored. So here's a book. So say this is Cute and Magical by Alexander Franzese. Say I chose this Pegasus. I chose this fairy, or this jar with bees. So I would take pictures of each of those and send them all 3 pictures and say, how about we do one of these? And then they usually would choose one. And then you both color that page. Now you don't have to use the same mediums. You don't have to use the same colors. All you do is you both color the page, and you can communicate. You have all month to color it. And you can either communicate all through the month about your page you're coloring, or if you're like me, once I sit down to a page, I have to finish it. So I'm not one that will color a little bit here and then the next day color a little bit more. And I think that has to do with my OCD, but that's just me. So I am not really able to keep sending the person, my progress. But you can be sending each other progresses, talk about it. I also like it that, say you're coloring and you're like, I'm stumped. I'm using this color, and this color. You have any suggestions on what I should color his hair? And, that's fun. Or so there's an object that you don't quite know what it is. Let's see, like, trying to think. Like, okay, right here. Say you don't know if this is grapes or raspberry or blueberry. You take a picture of it, and on Instagram you can circle it, or put a pencil or something on your paper pointing to it like this, and take a picture and say, can you help me out? What do you think this is? Or what are you coloring it as? That's always fun too. But anyway, you have all month. And then once you're finished with the page, or once I'm finished with the page, I automatically send it to my buddy so they can see it. And then when they're done, they send me their picture so I can see theirs. And I just love it. I love how different people's pages are, and how you can see, everybody has different ideas, and you can get other ideas for future pages or whatnot. Now, there are people out there, I'm going to move these because of the glare. There are people out there that will say, let's buddy color, and then they post it on their social media before they send it to me. And then I'm like, oh, I guess they finished the page. That's, to me, is not really buddy coloring. I think you should send each other the picture so you can see it before you post it on social media. Now, I'm horrible about posting my buddy colors on social media. I share them all in my completed pages video. I think my goal is I'm going to start posting. So I'm going to get my completed pages video out, which is what I did. And then I'm going to start posting my buddy colors from that month after that. So you'll have seen my pictures on YouTube, and then you'll get to see them again on my Instagram. But I'm going to, so basically my posts on Instagram will be a month behind, I think. Yes, I think that's something I'm going to do. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Yes. So picking a book and picking a page. I'm going to show you some examples of some buddy colors and how fun they can be. This book is Enchanted Faces. This is a pocket-sized book by Hannah Lynn. This is actually a project book, and that is another way. It is basically a buddy color, but you're going to color the entire book together. So every month you pick a page out of the same book. So it is still a buddy color, but it's a project book. This is my project book with Amanda from Amanda Colors. And we actually do 3 pages in here each month so that we will have this book complete by the end of the year. So here is one of the pages. So here is mine. Actually, let's do one from last month because I don't know if I've saved all those pictures. Let me find one. I will find it. Okay, this one. So this is one of May's, right? For mermaid, we did 3 mermaids. So here is mine. And then I'm going to put a picture up of Amanda's here so you can see it. And look at how amazing. And that is a buddy color. So we love this book. And then we take turns picking pages. One week I pick 2, she picks 1, and one week I pick 1 and she picks 2, like that, vice versa. But that is a buddy color, and that is another way of figuring out what page to color. Now, that's 2 ways. Those are 2 ways if you cannot figure out what to color. Then there again is the way where just open your book, start from page 1 and go from the front to the end. I am doing that currently, but it is also a buddy color, and this is a group buddy color. This is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. And our group is going from front to back. So what I've done is I'm coloring every page, whether I like them or not, from front to back. And if you know me, I don't really like coloring flowers. And let me tell you about these books. It's full of flowers. I loved these pages. I think this is my favorite that I've colored so far. But yeah. You can also, so I said there's only 2 ways. I'm naming all cards. So this is 3. The 4th way also is I am doing a full book color along out of the Romantic Country, the first tale. And what I do is in my community tab, I post 3 pages and have you guys vote on what page we should color each month. And there are a number of people that do color alongs on their channel, and that could help you pick a page. If you want to color, you can color along with them. We've colored these, and all of these are color alongs on my channel. So you can color with me on all of these pages. I still need to do this one. Since it was a 2-page and we only did this, and the video was plenty long. What other ones have we done? We have done, well, the 3 I'm gonna put on my community tab for this month is this one, or this one, which for some reason reminds me of Anne of Green Gables. Let's see, we've done this camping page. This was May's. It is a speed coloring with a voiceover because I had a month. I've had a few rough months, but we've done that one. We've done that one. That one. This is my favorite one. I love this. Is that it? I think that's it. Nope. That one. That's it. So, yeah. So they pick the page for you. You don't even have to pick a page if you want to join them. And there are so many people out there that do color alongs. And you learn a lot of things. I'm hoping mine help you learn things if you color with me. I don't do very many. I want to do more, so hopefully that will be happening. I do at least 2 though every month. I do one out of here and I do a Disney one because I have a whole video series on, I pick a Disney movie every month and I show you where you can find pages for that movie, and I do trivia about the movie. And this month's movie is Sword in the Stone. Love that movie. So exciting. I mean, that's another thing. You can find people say color any fairy tale page. You can pick a fairy tale page. There's people out there that have hashtags for color any Lulu Mayo page. So you pick a Lulu Mayo book, color a page, any Eerie page. To me, that is the best way to pick pages for beginners if you are like so overwhelmed and have no idea what to color. Now this book is an example for me. I absolutely love this book. Now this is probably a bad example for beginners because you can't get this in the United States. If you want this book, the 2 places I have found it are on Amazon France, or there is a website called Lireka, and I do have a 10% discount code for your very first order only, and that is that code is in the description box below, but it has to be your very first order. But when I look at this book, because I love every single page in this book, how am I going to pick a page? Well, so one of my birthday hashtag is to color any Disney companion. So it is color Disney companions for Meg's birthday 2024. Well, there are companions all through this. Here you got Pua and Hey Hey. Here you have Scrump. But I was wanting a page that has just companions. So I'm going to go through it and see if I can find, well, there's one. The Cheshire Cat is one of Alice's companions. Or you can do, let's see, where's the other one? It's right here, I think. Dopey and Grumpy are 2 of Snow White's companions. So that helped me this month pick pages. And then my letter is C. So another one I am coloring, these are all buddy colors, is the Cinderella. And it also has my favorite companions, which are Jack and Gus Gus. So that is exciting. Now, I have been coloring for a while, so I know what I do and I don't like to color. I don't really like coloring flowers, and I don't like coloring repetitive, like pages that have like 5,000 leaves on them. I mean, that's not a lot of leaves. So this is a bad example for that. But I love every single page in here. So I have to use hashtags and things to find a page. Or sometimes I'll go through the book and color my favorite page. But if I do that, then I tend to not go back to the book. So yeah, that is a problem. And I will show you my absolute favorite page, which I show you. This is my absolute favorite page. I love this page. If you don't know, if this is your first time, I love coloring pages with books, and it is because it reminds me of my mother. My mom was an avid reader. She would read at least 1 to 2 books a day. And she read all of her life. That was her favorite thing in the world to do, was to read. So even though Belle is one of my favorite princesses, she has a special place in my heart. Number one, because, you know, she is my mother with her books. But every time I color pages with books, I feel like she's with me. And I know that she'd be coloring it right along with me if she was here. But yeah. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I don't mean to get emotional. You would think it would get easier. I mean, it'll be 3 years in November. But I'll just tell you right now, it is not any easier than it was the day she died. My mom and I were super close. But anyway. She's the reason I created this channel, by the way. I have videos about that. But yeah, so I hope this video helps you in some way of figuring out how to choose a page. This is a newer book. You can get this one on Amazon US. You can get this anywhere, actually. I think it's on all of the Amazons. So if you live anywhere, you can get this book. This is Small Victories. It is a small size book, so you can take it with you. Now, there are lots of flowery pages, but she also has house pages. I love coloring houses too. I don't really know why, but I do. I love dinosaurs. And there's leaves and stuff on here. I could cover that up. I don't have to color it that way. Or I could color the dinosaur all in one color and then outline all the leaves in white. That would be fun. There's fish. Here you got butterflies. I do like coloring butterflies. Boats. These are fun little island things. Let's see what else. I also don't like coloring food. So that page doesn't. Like, I love these kind of pages. These shelf pages with all the stuff on them. I'm a detailed colorist. I like lots of detail. But yeah. So I hope this was a little bit helpful. So our next video will be part 10. And what we are going to do, and as I had told you, that one of our I'm drawing a blank. One of our scavenger hunt prompts in my Facebook group coming up is cloud. And so I have already picked a cloud page. And actually, I just want you to know that this is the second time that I have filmed this video. So I started it already, but then I decided that it was too long. So I started over again. But we are going to be coloring this page, and I'm going to tell you how I pick the colors. I'm going to show you all of that. I'm going to be using my very first set that I got other than Crayolas, which is my Star Joy 120 set, not the golds, just the regular old Star Joys was my very first set. So yeah, I haven't colored the clouds, as you can see, but yes, I will show you everything, and we will color this page together. How I pick colors, all of that. I will show you, even though I don't use one. The lovely coloring wheel. But yeah, like I said, I don't use it, but a lot of people do. That is one thing I have never struggled with, is what colors to use. Now, I'll get to the point of a page where I've used a certain amount of colors and I know it needs one more color to it. That I do have a hard time with. And that is when I contact a buddy and I say, okay, this is what I've done so far. What color would you add to this? I do that a lot with my wonderful coloring friend Amanda. Even if it's not a buddy color with her, I still will send her pages that I'm working on and say, hey, what would you do for this? Yeah. And that's what this community is amazing about. So yeah, that is how I would pick a page, a book. Those are all some different ways how to pick a book, how to start, what page to pick. And then when we start picking out colors, we'll do that. And I might pick a different page. I should do a different page because I want to show you where I would start coloring, because that was another question I got. Yes, I had a friend, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but she reached out and she said, how do you pick what book to color in? How do you pick what page you're going to color? Then what colors? How do you pick the colors you're going to choose? And where do you start on the page? So we might find a different page, but we're going to find a page that has clouds. I guess we don't have to. I guess it'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise on what we do with our next video. Hopefully you'll have that one this month also. I know I have said this in previous videos, but I have a 2-week vacation coming up. And so you won't be getting as many videos this month as you normally would be because, yeah, I think you should be getting at least 2 a week where normally I do 4. Yes, but anyway. But yeah, so I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below if this helped any of you guys with on how to get started on picking a book and picking a page. Let me know. And if you have any suggestions for anybody in this coloring community on how you choose a book and a page, please leave that in the comment below. We would all like fresh new ideas. Yeah, if you're new and you made it through, thank you so very much. I'd love to have you join us, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're wanting to be notified when I post new videos, hit that bell button too. Make sure you all hit that thumbs up button that you like it and comment down below. I love getting comments. I so enjoy making these videos and talking to all of you, and I look forward to talking to you all real soon.